Nature has always amazed and inspired me to be a better member of humanity. I made this video in hope that others can benefit from the inspiration it has given me. The natural environment of Earth can teach us through its symbolism. The elements follow a symbolic pattern that mimics the purpose of our existence. Many people question the purpose of their existence. The purpose of our existence should be studied more than any other subject, for the world is ignorant of their true condition and relation to everything. Nature shows us that every person is as an individual seed that has fallen from their maker in order to become like their maker. Not all seeds choose to grow, but some do, and eventually fulfill their destiny. The destiny of a seed is to organize life or consciousness from chaotic matter. A seed's desire to become as its maker causes a ripple effect in eternal consciousness. Nature plays an important role in understanding the history of humanity. The ideas of God that some men form are too foolish for an intelligent man to understand. It's common for many religious leaders to say that if a person is not converted to their religion, they must remain eternally in hell without any hope, and this eternal misery rests on mere chance alone. No one is deserving of blame for rejecting the conflicting opinions of men. Everyone is rewarded according to the actions they perform that are in harmony with the laws of truth and love. Let each person reason for themselves, because truth will teach them what actions attract peace and joy if they seek it. People who radiate words and actions that are contrary to love and truth choose to injure themselves and everyone who mistakenly emulates those misperceptions. There is a reason why societies, aristocracies, and democracies all over the world continue to collapse. Those who continue volunteering to believe lies are ultimately responsible for the collapse of everything that promotes peace, harmony, joy, and love. Those who believe the unqualified can't teach truth are damaging their ability to see the hidden truth in all things. No lie can entice us unless we consent and yield. Those who ignore the past mistakes of humanity are doomed to repeat the same self-inflicted miseries again. Thousands of civilizations have followed exactly the same pattern, which is virtue followed by prosperity, followed by material comforts, followed by greed, followed by pride, followed by a collapse of morality, until the people brought calamities upon themselves sufficient to stir them up to humility, repentance, and change. Deprivation, exploitation, gluttony, murder, war, and suicide are all products of a lie that causes one to believe they're superior and more valuable than others around them. The illusion of pride's good intentions requires the manipulation of the feeble and uneducated to serve the interests of its unquenchable lust. That lust and pride is an ungrateful parasite that eventually kills its host. The reason there is so much misery in today's world is because men keep lusting for money and power rather than striving for virtue and gratitude. History shows us that pride causes the formation of secret societies which are designed to manipulate the masses with crises. They create crises because it's easier to exploit those in desperation. Lust for money prevents families from being self-sustaining because power is obtained through depriving others of their capability to achieve the freedom of independence. We must realize that our television, radio, entertainment, news, and even our educational systems are manipulated and suppressed by people who are driven by power and money. Please prepare yourself for the calamities these governing secret societies have prepared for us by doing your own research. An arsenal of alcohol, tobacco, water-poisoning chemicals, artificial sweeteners, genetically modified foods, hydrogenated oils, pharmaceutical drugs, vaccines, fear-mongering, debt, oil dependency, and the list goes on, are manufactured to create unstable bodies and minds, thus initiating crisis. That pride seeks to transform the masses into mindless, impoverished slaves. We're constantly bombarded with propaganda aimed to persuade us into joining the bandwagon of ignorance. The deadly parasite of pride and lust now has the potential to exterminate the entire body of humanity. Our future existence depends on how well we intelligently identify what lies have distorted our current reality. For example, criticism is portrayed by the media as constructive, when in reality it's destructive. Self-control and self-esteem reside within those who comprehend who they are. Suppressing our divinity and pure love causes misery. How much misery will your actions inflict upon yourself and humanity before you'll humble yourself enough to see the truth of love? The best way to help others is to comprehend all that encompasses truth and love for ourselves. That comprehension we obtain gives us the ability to be conscious of deceptions and enables sensitivity or heightened awareness of profound truth. Addictions are caused by the lack of consciousness, or in other words, the absence of comprehending love. Indulging in bodily stimulants, money, possessions, popularity, or rebelliousness will never fill our voids of love. If you lost all your possessions today, would your relationship with yourself and others still cause you to feel like the richest person on the planet? If truth guides us, misery can't reign over us like an unforgiving tyrant. Pain in life is inevitable, but misery is a choice. Indifference and hatred will leave us spiritually bankrupt in exchange for a temporary illusion of control and superiority. It's easy to see and feel the pain that ignorance causes for us every day, but when we see with the eyes of truth, gratitude overflows from our hearts, for we realize this gift of life as an opportunity to complete the next step in our metamorphosis. We cannot comprehend all truth and love while in this dimension of reality. We'll learn what it takes to complete our germination even beyond this world and our grave. The principles of consciousness ascend step by step until one reaches complete harmony with all the principles of truth and love. God is life. He is everything that promotes life and happiness. One huge factor in sustaining life in this physical dimension is sufficient heat. Heat is caused by rapid vibration of molecules and atoms, which results in the expanding of an object's size. Cold is the absence of vibration and all activity. At approximately -273 degrees Celsius, atoms stop moving. Heat is vibration that purifies and transforms matter. With heat and pressure, black carbon is transformed into a clear diamond, one of the hardest substances known to man. The more we adhere to the laws of truth, the stronger and more refined we become until we reach a state of ecstasy. Our choice is to unite with God or become enslaved to the cold, dark void. We're either working to be more compassionate towards all people or we're not. Indifference is still rejecting love. The thoughts, words, and actions we reflect prove our comprehension of higher laws. How spiritually vibrant are we? Comprehension is a reflection of our ability to harmonically tune in to the same vibration as the source of life. The requirement that we be unified and harmonized is not only for this life alone, it's endless. It's deception that divides us and makes us miserable. A world at peace starts with a soul who is synchronized with the divine harmony within them, which teaches them how to enhance the quality of living for all humanity. We only have control over two things in this life. The first is to understand love. The second is the way we choose to react to other people's neglect of that same love we're striving to comprehend. Being in harmony with love and truth will fill us with a strong desire to alleviate suffering and will eventually give us the ability to comprehend all things. Comprehension of truth and love is revealed to us through time, experience, persistent seeking, careful pondering, and solemn thoughts. Comprehension encourages adherence to the laws of truth and love, and that adherence enhances our capacity to receive more comprehension. What is truth? Truth is knowledge of things as they are, as they were, and as they are to come. Truth is referred to as light. Without the characteristics of light, nothing would grow and nothing could be seen. It creates all life on earth and drives its climate and weather. We partake of its energy every single day, which becomes a part of our physical bodies. If we stopped partaking of that vibrating energy, we'd rapidly die. And it's exactly the same if we stopped partaking of the laws of truth and love. The atmosphere would be destroyed, all the trees and plants would die, and the planet would become an inactive ice ball. The gases in Earth's atmosphere protect us from temperature extremes and overpowering high-frequency light radiation that's emitted from the sun. Nature shows us that without the protection of the atmosphere, we could not endure the cold of space or the heat of the sun. Our atmosphere is representative of Jesus Christ, our mediator between us and the overwhelming consciousness of God the Father. The collective consciousness of all seeds should emulate Christ's harmony between the sun and the earth. The only way a seed can ensure its prosperity is through enhancing other organisms in its surrounding environment, just as a flower enhances the life of a honeybee and vice versa. Comprehending the teachings and example of Jesus Christ ensures our infinite prosperity. Obtaining light carries with it a responsibility to enhance the life of humanity, or future enlightenment will be lost. Sharing the energy of pure love multiplies heightened awareness within the body of humanity. It's estimated that over 1 million Earths can fit inside the sun. Can something as gigantic and as powerful as the sun create itself, considering that outer space is mostly filled with nothing? Just as the sun's energy is woven into our physical body, a part of God's consciousness is hidden below our surface. Again, nature shows us the truth of this concept through Earth's thermal heat or magma beneath its crust, which heat is also a trait of light. Far too many ignorant assumptions are taught as truth in our schools. Please watch the documentary Expelled, No Intelligence Allowed, and seriously consider the consequences. Scientific methods have proven the Earth is not flat. Those methods are finding more evidence of a supreme creator, and once again the truth is being suppressed. Can the limited physical perception of an amoeba prove to that amoeba that Disney World exists? The mystery of our existence is not so mysterious if we can see that human reality is comparable to that of an amoeba's limited perception. Can love's impact be proven as an eternal force for good when the results are misconstrued by the constant variable of human error? Stereotyping confines us to the inactive solitude of a contraceptual cul-de-sac. Many men who believe they're wise say that man had a beginning, which by saying so proves that we must have an end. The element and energy that our body now consists of cannot be destroyed, so it could not have had a beginning. We know that element and energy can never be destroyed. It may be organized and reorganized, but not destroyed. The laws of element and energy are consistent with the laws of consciousness. The harmony of those three dimensions reveals to us that everything is connected and has an eternal impact upon the consciousness of every living thing. Every hair on your head is numbered. Every one of those hairs that falls to the ground is noticed, and the love that God has for each conscious entity is indescribable. If men do not comprehend the character of God, they do not comprehend themselves. The word create means to organize, the same as a man would organize materials to build a ship. God had materials to organize our dimension out of chaotic matter. The genetic instructions of DNA are assembled by vibration that's sung by an illuminated choir. Why does the harmony of unique voices depend upon the frequency of tones and a conductor's baton? It's absurd to think that energy and element could appear from nothing, but it's just as laughable to say that consciousness could create itself. Just like element and energy, consciousness has always existed. The level of consciousness varies in every organism, but the true desire of every organism is to comprehend more truth and love, which will bring it closer to a complete state of indescribable bliss. The absence of complete consciousness in ourself causes all forms of disharmony and a diluted perception of truth. This vibrating light energy within everything is something we should study. I have found that this energy or light field can be measured and photographed. We're alive only because God's consciousness directs and resides within all life. The life-giving light frequency of the sun's energy proves this point to be true in our physical dimension, but there is a spiritual dimension that cannot be seen with unpurified eyes. Radio waves cannot be seen with your eyes, but your ears can prove those waves exist. There are many dimensions of creation, but those who wait to detect them only with their physical senses will severely impede their metamorphosis. Is sight more important than hearing? Is the brain more valuable than the blood that sustains it? The entire body of humanity is equally important. Nature has taught me of my connection to every person and every living thing imaginable. If it were possible for us to number the particles of Earth, then times that number by millions of Earths like this, it would not be a beginning to the number of God's creations, yet He is the conductor that sustains each of those individual particles in its proper order. The reality of comprehending God smothers my pride and fear. One of the best things we can do in this world is to contemplate God. He is everything that is compassion, life, joy, truth, peace, and beauty. Since God is the source of everything that encompasses love, the closer we approach Him, the more profoundly we experience all that is love. What we love is what we seek. What we seek determines what we think and do. What we think and do determines who we are and who we will become. The existence of humanity can be compared to one breath of air or one meal being absorbed into an organism. This life is our chance to morph into a higher level of God's body of life organizing energy. Has your seed produced nutrients out of chaos that are considered worthy of absorption into God's body? Excruciating misery is seeing that you've come short of the awesome joy and glory that others enjoy with God. The deepest sadness is learning that you could have achieved this unity, but you let selfishness, arrogance, and hate deceive you in your earthly existence. If you're expelled from His body, you'll wish to be given another chance to prove your actions or state of being can enhance life. Eternal life in the presence of our God is the most intense joy and love that any life form can ever experience. In order to be with Him, we must become like Him. Are we comprehending the teachings of Jesus Christ in order to be worthy of this eternal joy? What have we done for someone today? Our accomplishments mean nothing if loving service to others is not our motive. Those who live only for themselves eventually shrivel up and figuratively lose their lives. Charity, the pure love of Christ, is not a single act. It's an internal condition or state of being. Help the oppressed, aid the despondent, uplift those in sorrow, because we're all connected. When the dial on the wheel of sorrow eventually points to us, some of those we've loved will support and comfort us. Family members, friends, acquaintances, and even strangers need our attention, our encouragement, our support, our comfort, and our kindness. The more seeds of love we sow, the more likely we'll be prepared to live the higher laws that are required to dwell with God. What kind of seeds have we been sowing? Internalization of charity is what qualifies us to be gathered into His bloodstream of active creation. Opportunities to change lives and destinies with our comprehension are endless. If we act as if we're God's hands here upon earth, we'll see with God's eyes in heaven. We're completely and unconditionally loved with such immensity that we're literally a participating part of God's body of creative unity in this dimension. One of my favorite examples of truth an animal has revealed to us is a state of unity called Zion. Penguins bring forth the next generation or renewed consciousness in a state of darkness because the sun doesn't rise above their horizon for months. That state of darkness is symbolic of our current separation from the full light and knowledge of God. The parents willingly go without food for up to 4 months in order to support and protect the new life that they delicately balance on their feet. They endure the coldest and harshest environment on earth. They sacrifice without complaint because they're aware that cooperation with the laws of their environment will allow their determination to breed replenished consciousness. Such determination amazes me. Penguins show us that we must cooperatively synergize our unique individualities into a body that actively creates unity, which is essential for the development of consciousness. This beautiful truth can be seen when the penguins form a tight group huddle in order to survive the deadliest winter storms in the darkest part of the planet. The truth of unity as the key to life can be seen in the structure of our solar system all the way down to the smallest atom, as scattered negative electrons circle around a united body of positive protons. Unity or selfishness is our choice. Truth and love can be revealed to us through nature and everything that's around us. Live in a state of patience and forgiveness, allowing others to make their own choices. Teach by example and unconditional compassion. We must open our mind and seek answers to our questions. There is no fear in love. Make your election sure by choosing to obtain love, act with love, and become love. Please help me spread this seed of love by sharing this video with all your friends and family. If you'd like to contact me or obtain a copy of this on DVD, I can be contacted via email at compassionfortruth@gmail.com. Thank you.